Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Rookie Mycologist. I am Bass Drop Keys, your Philly neighborhood Negro, and in today's video, I'm going to start growing gourmet mushrooms. How about that? Now, the first thing that I want to do in this video is I want to thank you guys once again for showing me so much love and so much support since I started making videos back on the channel. I really appreciate it. You guys are the reason why I came back, and it just makes me feel so good to let me know that you guys find the content useful. So I'm definitely going to try to keep putting out the content for you guys, and I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate you. I also want to thank you guys for showing so much love on the merch website. If you want to get your shirts, hoodies, slides, stickers, coffee mugs, everything on the site has been selling. I want to thank you guys so much for making that a success. Come over to the Rookie Mycologist and get some merch today. Now, with all that being said, make sure you guys watch to the end of the video because there's going to be some important channel announcements on the back end of this video. But okay, speaking of that, let's get into today's video. So in today's video, I'm going to start growing gourmet mushrooms for the first time. I've never done it before. Now, how am I going to be doing that? I'm going to be using my Spore Boom Room 2 that you see right behind me. If you guys remember on the channel, I've already shown you the video where I set everything up. I will tag that video in the top right corner and you'll be able to find it in the description. You guys know that Spore is my favorite company to get all of my products that I use to grow my mushrooms. If you guys want to get the Boom Room 2 or any of the products that you see in this video, use the code BassDropKeys. That will give you a 10% discount on any order at northspore.com. And can I just say on that same vein, guys, Spore has been supporting me damn near since I started the Rookie Mycologist. They really do have a special place to me because they were my first company that showed me love whenever I started. But more importantly than that, their products are great. And probably even more importantly than that, they're great people. They're awesome people. I don't know too many companies who would be like, hey, you never grown mushrooms before? You're trying to grow mushrooms? Yeah, let's do something with you. You know what I mean? They didn't have to do that. And after all my mess ups and contam and everything, they still stuck beside me, was there to give me counsel, give me great advice. They're just great people. So if you guys want to support a great company who has great products, definitely get your products from Spore. Use the code BassDropKeys. That'll save you 10%. But okay. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be growing some beginner-friendly mushrooms in the Boom Room 2. I had a discussion with Spore, and there's definitely mushrooms that you would say were beginner-friendly, more advanced, and then like expert level. I asked them to send me the ones that's beginner-friendly because obviously I'm a rookie. I've never done this before, so I need to get the beginner mushrooms down pat, and then I'll try to build up from there. But they were kind enough to send me the beginner mushrooms. So that's what we're going to try to start growing today. Now, as far as the mushrooms that they sent me lion's mane, golden oyster, pink oyster, blue oyster, and finally Italian oyster. They sent me 5 different varieties of mushrooms. These are beginner mushrooms according to Spore, and those are the ones that we're going to try to start growing today. One of the great things that Spore does whenever they send out their fruiting blocks is they send you this valuable bit of information right here. This is their guide on all their fruiting blocks, and it lets you know the most important things that you need to know whenever you're fruiting your mushrooms. And in this guide, they let you know which ones are the beginner species, the intermediate species, and the more advanced species of mushrooms. And for each of the mushrooms, they give you the information like how to initiate the fruiting, the special considerations, the harvest notes, and they even let you know about the flavor and the aroma of the different mushrooms. All of that information can be found in the fruiting block kit that they send out with each of the fruiting blocks. You can also find this information right here on the website as well, northspore.com. All right, so I know I've covered a lot of information in this video so far, but now it's time to get down to the nitty gritty and get to it. The first thing that I need to do is I need to show you guys how to turn on your Boom Room 2. In the first video where I showed you guys how to set it up, I didn't go over how to turn it on. So we'll go over that real quick. Obviously, if you're going to be growing these fruiting blocks, you need to have somewhere where you can control the temperature and the relative humidity, the environment that the fruiting blocks are going to be in. The Boom Room 2, the Martha Kit, or even the Mono Tub or Boomer Bin from Spore. All of these different products are great in order to control the temperature and humidity of your fruiting blocks. I'm using the Boom Room 2. You guys have already seen me use the Boomer Bin on the channel before. You can choose what's best for you. Let me show you how to turn on the Boom Room 2. Then I'm going to show you how beginner friendly it is to work with these fruiting blocks. So let's go ahead and get to it. Here we go. All right, guys, so let me show you how easy it is to turn on your Boom Room 2. Firstly, let me apologize for the audio of the video whenever I'm talking. This is the first time that I'm using the mic that you see on my shirt with my phone. And so the next time, I promise you it will be perfect. Sorry about that. But at any rate, what I'm doing is I'm putting water inside the humidifier. This water is reverse osmosis water. Now I'm using filtered water because obviously this water is going to be spraying on my fruiting blocks and I don't want to have to worry about any contam. Also, if you guys know anything about humidifiers, if you use filtered water, that will stop the buildup that happens over time from using hard water. Use filtered water. And so once I have it filled up and I have the humidifier and the fan plugged in, all you're going to do is you're going to use the dial in front of the humidifier. You're going to turn it on. I'm going to turn it on kind of high to make sure that it's actually working. And man, look at this right here. You can see how it's pumping out hard right there. Pumping out real hard. Loving it. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the humidity controller is working. The sensor is inside the tent and I'm just making sure that the humidity controller is working. And right there, I'm turning on the inline fan to make sure that's working. I turned it on. Everything's working exactly how it should be. And there you go. That's how easy it is to turn on your Boom Room 2. Now let's go ahead and set up these fruiting blocks. All right, guys, so we're going to start dealing with our fruiting blocks. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, as always, is I'm going to clean my workspace. Now, you don't have to wear gloves for this part, but every time I work with the mushrooms, you guys know, I've had such a track record with contam that I just do everything I can to make sure I never have to worry about it. So most people that you see do this, they're not going to be wearing gloves. Me, you guys know why I wear mine. And so for these beginner mushrooms, you initiate fruiting the same way for all of these blocks except for a lion's mane. And I'll show you the difference right now. Let me grab the blocks. So I'll grab lion's mane, which is right here. And we can grab any of the other ones. The one that's right next to it is pink oyster. So we just grab this right here. So let me put the lion's mane over here. And what you're going to need is you're going to need something sharp like a knife. And let me clean this as well. And you may want to use some tape. It's not necessary. I'll show you what's up right now with it. It's not necessary, but you may want to use that. All right. So we have this is the pink oyster right here. And so all I'm going to do is, you can see that it's tape. This is tape right here. Got tape right there. And so now this right here is where the filter patch is. So we're actually going to be tucking this back this way, right? So with these beginner mushrooms, you can side fruit them or do it from the top. We're going to be doing it from the side, but what you want to do is once you take the tape and you open it up, you see the filter patches on the top, the extra plastic, you're going to put it to the back. You can fold it like this, and put it in the back like this. You see? Just in case you missed that, all I did was just take these, put the ends in, and fold it in the back like this. Now, you can use tape to tape this down, right? And we got a piece of tape right here that came with this bag. So I'm just going to use this tape. Use this tape. Tape this down. See, tape it down. We got the filter patch like this. Now, I'm going to set it to the side like that. This right here Hold on, let me just make sure that we get as much air as we can out of here. We don't want side pins. All right, so let's just get as much air as we can out of here. There you go. So I use the tape, but if you don't want to use the tape, just tuck the plastic down, set it on the plastic like that, and you'll be good to go just like that. Right, so you can tape it or just set it down, and that's how we're looking right here. Just like that. Okay, so now we're gonna make our cut on this side right here. Now, like I was saying, all these are the same. These beginner mushrooms are the same, except for the lion's mane. On all these, you're gonna do one big cut like this. That's why we got a knife. You just wanna make sure that you cut it clean so that the mushrooms don't get caught up in there. On the lion's mane, we're gonna do, instead of doing one big X like this, we're gonna do 4 X's, right? That's the only difference. So let's go ahead and do it. So we're gonna take this knife, and it's okay if you cut into the block a little bit, that's fine. Just make sure that the cut is clean, like that. One more cut. Just like that. And once you have it like that, we're gonna put it back in our boom room 2. Now I'm gonna do the same thing to this lion's mane, but like I said, we're gonna do 4 X's instead of 1. This tape is right here. Take the tape off. Bend this the other way. Just a patch right there. See if we can get as much air as we can out of here. Do the same thing. We're going to tuck in the sides. Fold this back. Here's the tape. Oh, there's still a lot of air in there. Just do the best you can with it. There we go. Set it on the side like that. And like I said, instead of doing the one big X, we're gonna do 4 smaller X's. There we go. So I got 4 X's on there for the lion's mane. Put this in there. And so we got 5 other ones. Let me do those real quick. We got the golden oyster right here. We got the Italian oyster right here. We got the blue oyster right here. Italian oyster, blue oyster, golden oyster right there. Wipe down the knife again, and let's do these 3 here. Put them back in there. Give me 1 second, let me get this done.
Drop off them packs and I'm feeling like Santa. Growing these mushrooms, I'm keys in McKenna. Growing exotics, they smell like bananas. I just got these spores and they came from Havana. 4 or 5 pounds and I ship to Atlanta. Growing blue meanies, they go to Savannah. Got golden t-shirts, they go to Montana. I gotta get paid, I'll sell to your nana. Keys in McKenna, 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 keys in McKenna. Drop off them packs and I'm feeling like Santa. Growing these mushrooms, I'm keys in McKenna. I'm taking a trip, I'll be gone for a minute. See in the future, I don't see a limit. I'm going off these shoes, let me make it explicit. You need them, I got a good ticket. I deliver these packs so it's feeling like Christmas. I'm faster than Amazon there with a quickness. I'm going off these shoes, I'm not talking hibiscus. They damn sure be hitting, but they not delicious. Eat some of these, you just might see a spirit. Tapping my tongue and I'm coming to visit. I see every color, I'm feeling terrific. She talking to me, but I see hieroglyphics. The rookie, my college don't care about no critics. Worrying about my need to get you some business. Did me 3 grams, now I'm playing with physics. I see every molecule run analytics.
Now we got the fruiting blocks inside of our boom room too. Let's go ahead and cut it back on. We just tested it. We know it works. Let's cut it back on. There we go. There we go. That's working. And let's turn this on. We'll just have it on low for now. There we go. Our humidity controller's working. The fan's on. We got our sensor right inside here. Everything's working. The only thing left to do is to close this up. Let's go ahead and close it up. And there you go. Look at that. Look at that. I just heard the humidifier turn off. That sensor is working. So as soon as I close up the tent, you can see how that fogged up with humidity. And that's going to make sure that our fruiting blocks stay exactly where they need to stay as far as the temperature and the humidity. Of course, I'm controlling the temperature in my house, but the humidity, we don't have to worry about at all with the boom room 2. Now, whenever I put my all-in-one bags in the fruiting conditions, they're going to go in here. Also, these racks are big enough where I can put boomer bins in here as well. Obviously, you're not going to be using the top or the lid of the boomer bin because it's inside of here. But the whole bottom part of the mono tub, you can definitely fit inside of here. If you're doing any shoe boxes, those will fit in here as well. But look how beautiful. And there you go, guys. I showed you how to turn on the boom room 2. Showed you how to do the fruiting blocks. But all right, guys, now that we got all that work done, let's go ahead and go over a couple channel announcements. The first one is I do want to let you guys know about Spore new subscription boxes. What the subscription box is, you can actually choose whether you want to get the beginner fruiting blocks or the intermediate fruiting blocks. You can choose whether or not you want to get it every 4 weeks or every 8 weeks. And what they'll do is they'll go ahead and send you brand new fruiting blocks every 4 weeks or every 8 weeks, depending on what you choose. So if that's something that might interest you, make sure you come over once again to northspore.com, use the code BassDropKeys. You'll get 10% off any order. All right, guys, so this is what your subscription box is going to look like. This right here is the beginner subscription box. Golden oyster, lion's mane, blue oyster, we just went over those. So I'm going to take these out, do the same exact thing that you just seen me do, and I'm going to put those in the tent as well. So now we got 2 golden oyster, 2 lion's mane, and 2 blue oysters. You can either pick a beginner one or an intermediate one, pick 4 or 8 weeks, and they'll send it to you right on time. All right, guys, so it's been 4 days since I put them inside the boom room, and the 2 strains that's having the most action right now are the pink oysters and the Italian oyster mushrooms. If you look at the footage, you can already see that they're beyond pinning. You're seeing some very big pins. You might as well just say you're seeing some small mushrooms growing on top of here already, and it's only been 4 days. Also, when it comes to the boom room 2, I absolutely love it, and I'm actually going to have Spore send me another one of these whenever I move to Vegas in a little over 10 days. That way I can use the boom room 2 for all of my mushroom growing because it works absolutely fantastic. And by the way, you guys know that Spore is my favorite company to get all my growing needs. If you guys want to get any of the great products for yourself, use the code BassDropKeys. That will give you a 10% discount on any order at northspore.com. And I did adjust the humidity meter, by the way. I moved it up, so now I have it in between 85 and 95, meaning that whenever it goes below 85 relative humidity inside of the tent, it's going to cut on, and then when it reaches 95%, it cuts off by itself automatically. But I just got to tell you guys, using the Spore fruiting blocks is very, very easy to grow gourmet mushrooms You literally saw me cut an X on the bag, put them inside of here, and that's it. It's great. All right, guys, so now it's 24 hours later. It's day 5, and look at the progress of the pink oyster mushrooms. Also, look at the Italian oyster mushrooms. Honestly, around this time, or maybe 5 to 10 hours later, is when I should have did the harvest, but I'm just so busy trying to put out the videos for all my channels along with packing up this house that I didn't have time to do it. You're going to see during this video that I basically harvested all the mushrooms a little bit late, but I know for next time about when I need to harvest them now. But a day later, great progress with the mushrooms. All right, guys, so now it's day 7, and you can see how big the Italian oyster mushrooms are now. Also, if you look at the pink oyster mushrooms, you can see the growth that they've had as well. So what I need to do at this point is I need to go ahead and harvest the Italian oyster mushrooms, even though, like I just said, I am harvesting them late. You'll get more of a sense of that as we continue on with the video right here. So if you look at the footage, you can see how the Italian oyster mushrooms are praying up and they're already fully open. That's how you know that I waited too long to do the harvest. I found out that you want to harvest them more early than late. Like I said, I should have did this on day 6 or later in day 5, and it would have been perfect. Day 7, a little bit too late, but I know for next time. Also, if you look inside the tent, you'll notice that next to the pink oyster mushrooms, the lion's mane is starting to come in. Also on the rack underneath that, the golden oyster mushrooms are starting to come in as well. If you look at the fruiting block instructions, it says on there that they're supposed to fruit within 1 to 2 weeks for these beginner mushrooms that I have. So that means that these mushrooms are right on time. So let's go ahead and do the harvest. So to do the harvest for these Italian oyster mushrooms is super simple. You can see that I have my gloves on, but you don't need them. And you basically just grab them by the base, just like basically a head of cabbage, and just pull them off. But they come off really easy. It's very simple to do. But now that I have them done, let's take a look at the mushrooms. Check it out. And one thing I did find out as well, you guys know that I'm brand new. This is my first time doing gourmet mushrooms. You need to have a plan for the mushrooms as soon as you harvest them. So whether you're going to dry them or cook them and make something with them, whatever you're planning on doing, you need to have a plan because these mushrooms spoil very, very quickly. If you don't dry them out and you just put them in the fridge, they're going to spoil in a couple days. I didn't know that, so make sure that you're aware of it. But once I did the Italian oyster mushroom harvest, I simply put the block back in there. I did not soak it for 24 hours like we do with the other blocks. I just put it back in the boom room 2 to see what would happen. All right, guys, so this is day 9, and this is what the mushrooms look like now. You can see that the golden oyster mushrooms are coming in even more. Also, the lion's mane mushrooms are coming in even more as well. If you look at the pink oyster mushrooms, you can clearly tell that they're ready to be harvested. Actually, I'm already late. They should have been harvested yesterday. And this is the day that we're going to do the pink oyster mushroom harvest. As I just said previously, I did the harvest a little bit too late. You can see here that the pink oyster mushrooms once again are praying up. They're all the way open. Also, the color has faded just a little bit. You can tell that I did the harvest about a day too late. But in order to do the harvest, once again, it's like the same thing. This right here actually looks like a head of lettuce, and you can just take it off the top of the fruiting block, just like a head of lettuce as well. You see how simple it was to do. Now that I have it done, let's take a quick look at the mushrooms right here. And like I said, the color is just a little bit lighter than it was. I really should have got some footage of them yesterday so you could really appreciate it. But like I said, I'm doing a lot at one time right now. And so I'm just doing the best that I can. I know for next time. All right, guys, so now it's day 10. And today we're going to do the harvest for the golden oyster mushrooms. I just opened up the tent right there. That's why the humidifier came on. But if you look at the golden oyster mushrooms, it's the same story for this whole video. These are getting harvested about a day too late. I should have did it maybe 5-6 hours ago, something like that. But once again, I know for next time. I want to say that these mushrooms are very, very interesting. I mean, there's so many different strains, so many different variations. They grow different ways. It really is fascinating. But to do the harvest, same thing. Grab it by the base, pull it off. That's how easy it is to do the harvest. Once I do the harvest, I put the fruiting block back in the boom room 2. Once again, I did not rehydrate or anything like that. The humidity is so high inside the boom room too. I wanted to see what would happen if I just put them back in there and let's just see what happens. And that's what I did. Once again, make sure that you have a plan for your mushrooms. I did not have a plan because I'm busy doing a bunch of other stuff. Dry them, cook them, have a plan for them, or they will spoil fast. All right, guys, so now it's day 17, a week later. And if you look at the footage, you can see that the golden oyster mushrooms have already grown again. And they've actually grown so much that they've already sporulated. So let me go ahead and open up the tent here so you can actually see it for yourself. So now that we're looking at the golden oyster mushrooms, you know that we just did the harvest a week ago. Now they've already grown again. And look, there's spores everywhere right here. You see that white stuff right there in the rack? You see the spores on the side of here? They've already sporulated. So on the fruiting block instructions, they say that you can get 2 to 3 harvests out of one block, and they're not lying at all. And remember, I did not do any rehydration of the fruiting block. It's so humid inside of this tent that I just put it back in here and they're starting to grow right away as soon as I did that. Also, if you look at the pink oyster mushrooms, you can see that they're even starting to grow again as well. Also on the top rack right there, the blue oyster mushrooms are coming in as well. So the gourmet mushrooms from North Spore work great. The boom room 2 works great. And I 100% recommend it for all you guys to get it for yourself. Now you can also see that the lion's mane mushrooms have actually grown some more inside of here. But unfortunately, I've simply run out of time. I have to get everything packed up because I'm going to be moving to Vegas very soon. So because of that, I wanted to get you guys some footage of the lion's mane and the blue oysters and show you that the golden oysters came back in and the pink oysters are even starting to come back in. But I'm just letting you guys know that I'm not going to be able to finish this. Everything that you see right here, all the fruiting blocks, they're actually going in the trash. But don't worry, whenever I get to Vegas, we will do this over again, because with this boom room 2, I know that I can grow some fire mushrooms because it keeps the conditions just where I need them to be. I want you guys to know how great this works, just in case you want to do it too. And like I said, whenever I get to Vegas, I'm going to put the boom room 2 back up. I'm actually going to have 2 of them up, and that's how I'm going to grow my mushrooms going forward because it just works so great. As far as that big 5x5 tent, whenever I get to Vegas, I may still put it back up, and I may just put the flow hood inside of the tent. So that right there will give me extra protection of not having to worry about contam. If I put the table and the flow hood inside of the big tent and do all my work inside of there, that would be even better coverage for me. So I think that's probably what I'll do. Now, the last thing that I want to show you guys before I end the video is how the mushrooms look after the harvest if you don't do something with them right away. So what you're looking at right here are the mushrooms that you see me harvest during this video. I had them sitting inside of the refrigerator. And so, like I've been saying this whole video, if you don't do something with them right away, they're not going to last that long at all. So have a plan, whether it's drying them or cooking them or whatever you're going to do, have a plan. They're only going to last a couple days before they go bad on you. But all right, guys, we're going to stop the season right here. I got to pack everything up. We'll do season 2 of the gourmet mushrooms once I get moved to Vegas. If you want to support me and the channel, come over to theRookieMycologist.com. I have some great t-shirts, slides, stickers, and a bunch of other merch that you'll love. Also, if you guys are missing the mycology videos that I made, come over to my website, bassdropkeys.tv, where I have my entire mycology catalog at your disposal. So unfortunately, you can't see those videos on YouTube anymore, thanks to YouTube, but I am still making mycology videos. So if you want to see all of my old videos, there's over 100 mycology videos on my website, and all of my new videos. I got brand new videos dropping tomorrow. Come over to my website and subscribe, bassdropkeys.tv. I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for the love. I hope to see all of you on the site, and I'll see you the next time. I'm out. Much love.